It is God's love.
Department called Backward Classes Welfare. You're wondering why I'm here? Yes, backward classes, scheduled castes, scheduled tribes are the people who are probably in that last mile that we all talk about. And there is, after 67 years of independence, still a lot to be desired, to be actually achieved. And for this department has, under the Chief Minister's directive, undertaken very recently a massive survey of each and every 6 crore people that we have, with 55 parameters, which include social, educational, economic, all parameters. So I have a database of 6 crore multiplied by 55 parameters today, online, digitized. I would just say that if financial inclusion does not take place, it will lead to a disaster. And that disaster in Karnataka, we have already seen in the form of farmer suicides. Last year, we saw 1,000 farmer suicides. And that made all of us thinking to say something needs to be done. I'm in charge of a district called Tumkur, and it was the second highest after Mandya. In a matter of 2 months, 31 farmers committed suicide. We went to these farmer families and tried to find out what made them commit this last resort kind of thing. And we found that 51% of them were below 40 years of age. That means they were really desperate at that early age. 10% of them were under heavy debt, so they found no other resort. 40% of them had no bank account, just as what Mr. Tenkel mentioned, 50% of the marginal people. And there's a population of about 15 lakh farmers in this district. We zeroed down with these parameters that I had collected. How many of them have taken loans? Among the loans, something from cooperatives, something from banks, and something from hand loans they call it, which means money lenders. So we found only 30,000 have taken loan from money lenders. That made my task very much easier. So I have to focus only on these 30,000 because anyone out of these 30,000 will be the next to commit suicide. This is how the collection of statistics showed. Out of 42,000, within the taluk level thing, where we found vulnerable on more than 17 deprivation indicators. That means they're houseless, they have rentified agriculture, they don't have savings, and so on. They're illiterate, not skilled, unemployed, and so on. And caste, community, all those factors put in. We found that 40% did not, 40% had bank account actually of the vulnerable, and 60% did not have, which proves the statistics that you have. Only difference is, I know who is that, and I can directly focus and see that they come out of this trap. We found out why these suicides take place, and when we questioned them, asked their family members, Reason is very obvious, that it is not a profitable venture. Still they continue doing it because they have no choice. And we found all those factors he has already mentioned. The no supplementary livelihood skills, low skill base, but ultimately loss of hope. I mean, we've lost credibility now. All of us put together, we've lost credibility. The farmer no longer thinks that somebody will come to his or her rescue, and therefore they take to this thing. This is a short 40 seconds video. F5 I said. We went to this approach of handling it politically, so involve the political representatives, involve the economic institutions, tap the NGOs to do the hand-holding right at the doorstep level, and technology. Most important is the mobile banking technology, plus the crowdfunding for extending financial loans and help to these people. We formed a core committee with the district minister in charge, and I, as secretary in charge of the district, was the convener, and we had all stakeholders in place. The core committee would see to it that these vulnerable farmers would be given all kinds of assistances in a convergent manner, and which include all the programs together. So that is why, since morning also, I was raising the issue of integrating various schemes, programs to those who are really needy and poor. I would like to share the experiment that was done with this kind of an intervention, and it will amaze you that 46,000 households were covered under a CSR project. And after 3 years of intervention, the dependence on money lenders was reduced from 45% to 8%. Mainstream credit extended up to 241 crores to these 46,000 people. They are paying, repaying, taking more, developing more, and increasing their incomes. Brand credit access, 100% coverage. Total members who had livelihood assets, 82%. Livestock, so in addition to agriculture, we diversified their portfolio. Average incremental annual income, 49,000. Households moved out of poverty, 90%. If it could have been done in 3 years, I wonder in 67 years why still we have 30% people below poverty ratio. So the answer lies very clearly that we need to converge on those who really need by all aspects, and not just one intervention or one benefit at a time. Some of the case studies where they were given different assistances and how they increase their income levels. I will not go into it. Coming to technology, weather forecast technology was mentioned in the morning session, but you may do the weather forecast. Now what? Now we had delayed rains. 2 months later, we had drought for 2 months, and then after 2 months we had terrible rains. Now they didn't know, farmers didn't know what to do. If they want to go in for something, the seed is not available, and so on and so forth. This is also one of the inputs where at that moment of time, if you don't give, then again that opportunity is lost. We had a partner called Davinta Technologies. They do mobile banking. So this handhold tab is there's an MOU we had with a banker, and he mentioned there is a crunch, resource crunch. We don't have functionaries. I will show you how the functionaries crunch in government different departments is there. But the advantage of this technology is that you go to the house of the farmer, take basic details, Aadhaar number, name, plot number and all that, there and then issue a bank account. And then not only provide the money and facility to them online, but also do the monitoring of their assets and their income generation and their repayment and everything. So it's a mini bank operation happening within the umbrella of the bank, but in a manner which is convenient to the user. The financial inclusion activities, as they grew, each family got 25,000 first, they developed more, got more and more. So up to 1 lakh on an average, each family has got it. The second important intervention we've now introduced is through an online portal, internet banking kind of a thing, where Microgram, it's an NGO, they have come up with this portal. They have given 2 options, one for personal social responsibility and another for corporate social responsibility. Now I put my money in the bank, I get 6% interest. That interest is there, I get it, no doubt. But if I want to use it for a socially useful purpose, I can put this into this portal. This money will then go through an NGO to the farmer, and which farmer I can select on the portal. So the farmer profile, his project on how to increase his income is there on the portal. You want to assist a farmer in Calcutta or in Karnataka or in Kerala, you can do it all by just a click. You say, this is what I want to use. I have paid, for example, 50,000 from my salary. I want to go send it to one widow female farmer. And I'm interested now. Is she improving? Is her income really getting generated? And it is all available online. The advantage of this kind of thing is that with all said and done, we want financial inclusion, yet for the poorest of the poor, even that bank interest rate repayment is a heavy burden. So if you do it like this with social enterprise, with social contributions, and with CSR, we are able to reduce that 13% rate of interest to 6.3% rate of interest. So initial years, 1 or 2 years, that support mechanism will be in such a way that they reach a level, otherwise they'll be burdened the same way as is with the money lender. Talking of resource crunch, manpower particularly, in government I made this analysis. We have one extension worker for 4,000 farmer families, one horticulture for 35,000 families, one animal husbandry person for 7,000 families. Is it ever possible to reach the family on a personal basis? It is not. That is the reason we suggested that we will have a multitask extension worker under the umbrella of the NGO, and that worker has now a task of addressing 1,000 families. And believe me, the cost is 15 rupees per family. That's all. So I spent about 45 lakhs for this year. I'm spending reaching out to those 30,000 vulnerable people, and already the difference has started showing. So what they do is they visit each and every family, create a development plan for them, align CSR funds and other funds and various other resources, converge with other schemes, and finally see to it that their balance sheet starts showing improvement. This is a kind of plan that the NGO has to go again on an online platform. This is the kind of integrated farmer development plan that is prepared again for each family. This is an abstract. So including the farmer, his wife, his children, his land asset, his non-farm asset, his skills, everything is put into one shot, one converged plan, and the district committee, core committee then follows it up. Whatever is possible to be given by the bank, by the government departments is given, otherwise rest is from other resources. If you look at the financials, we give them 1.5 lakh, let us say, total investment 1.9 lakh across various sectors. The returns in 3 years are 3 lakh. That is the kind of possibility of income generation and productivity if there is a good hand-holding available. So this program basically integrates technology, social hand-holding support, and all other programs of the government, and very focused. Different avenues open to them. E-market reform is also very recently, Karnataka is leading the model in the entire country. In fact, yesterday, Prime Minister's things is everybody will have an access to Mandi online, on the mobile, and that is a model which has been developed by Karnataka. You can sell sitting in your home. I just want to say that since we have a lot of corporates here, we have government sector people and the officials, it's a combination. If we have the CSR or we have some other resources, schemes, programs and all that put together, really it can become less burdensome for the farmer, for these people who keep saying last mile, but then are we really doing something worthwhile to ensure that it is convenient to them, it is affordable to them, it is useful to them. And I have a lot of people, NABARD has sanctioned exposure visits, for example. Our farmers have now registered as a producer company by themselves, and so on. I mean, it is happening every day. And the women farmers particularly go and speak so confidently in the All India radio program or TV and all that no, suicide is not the solution. And when I can do it, why not you? That's the way it is going on. I therefore end by appealing that all of us, in our own capacities, wherever we are, let us attempt to see that the financial inclusion includes the overall development in various aspects, various programs. See to it that it reaches the people who really need it, and finally it should reach within a time-bound approach. Let's not make it unlimited plan kind of a process, and see that, I mean, if it can be done here in Karnataka within 3 years, I'm sure it can be done throughout India. Thank you.